to your relaxing yoga flow. This will be your go-to on those active rest days when you really want to tap into resting well. And the key for this flow will be focusing on our mantra, which is enjoy the journey. And so often we can get caught up in just doing more, checking things off the list, that we forget to actually slow down and find pleasure in what we're doing. So just a little reminder to enjoy the process, to find little ways to let go. And especially in this practice, I'll encourage you to really use your breath to peel off any extra tension that you're holding onto, so that you can really enjoy the stretches that we're going to do, and really connecting the breath with those movements that we're putting the body through. So it's not just stretching, yoga is actually connecting that breath with movement so that you have a nice mental release as well. And having a mantra to anchor your practice is really helpful, because we can oftentimes, right, our thoughts can go a million places, and so having something to come back to ground you and to help with your focus, similar to what a meditation would do. This is a moving meditation, and so the mantra is a helpful way to anchor your moving meditation when the mind starts to wander. So coming back to this small phrase, enjoy the process. Just a little reminder, not a forcing of the enjoyment, obviously, but just gently coming back to how can you soften, how can you find some pleasure in these different postures. All right, before we get started, I do encourage you to find a nice pillow, or maybe I have this from our couch, or a couple of pillows from your bed if you have them, or whatever you have available that's going to be similar to what a bolster would be if you're used to those at a yoga practice. Something around the shape that we'll be using for supported child's pose and for our Shavasana today. So if you don't have those, you can grab those, put me on pause for a second, and then come back and join me. We'll be starting in Supta Baddha Konasana. So that will be on our backs with the feet together and the knees out to the side. So nice diamond shape. The closer your feet are in towards you, the more intensive a stretch this will be for your inner thighs. The further away they'll be, the more gentle it will be. I invite you to bring your right hand to your belly and your left hand to your heart. And begin to close the eyes, taking deep breaths. For this beginning centering, we can have the mouth open if that feels good for you. But as we progress through the practice, I encourage you, if it feels comfortable, to keep the mouth closed, breathing in and out through the nose. If you'd like to bring that Darth Vader audible characteristic to your breath with Ujjayi breathing, you have a slight constriction in the back of your throat for your inhales and exhales, similar to fogging up a mirror but with the mouth closed. Together, we're going to take 10 breaths here to start to lengthen the breath on the inhales and especially on the exhales. So I want you to breathe in for 10 counts, expanding the breath to about 4 equal counts on the inhale and exhale. So breathing in together for 1, exhale. Breathing in for 2, and exhale. Breathing in for 3, and exhale. Breathing in for 5, and exhale. Breathing in for 6, and exhale. Breathing in for 7, and exhale. Breathing in for 8, and exhale. Breathing in for 9, and exhale. Breathing in for 10, and exhale. Gently blink open the eyes, and you can use your hands to release them from the hand, heart, and the belly to gently help the knees come back, closing them like a book. Rolling over to one side, we're going to come over into tabletop position. So flip on over, hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. From here, we're going to stretch the palm or wrist by turning the fingers around. Palms press into the mat. Then we're going to probably feel a stretch in our wrists and our forearms here, but if you want to deepen the stretch slightly, just so slightly. Shift the hips back, trying to keep the wrist pressing into the mat. Take deep breaths here. It's a great one if you do a lot of exercises like in high plank where you're really challenging the wrist, and also if you're on the computer a lot or on your phone a lot. Nice. From here, start to turn the fingers back around. We're going to bring them slightly forward so they're about a palm's distance in front of your shoulders, and then tuck the toes under. Start to shift the hips back. Press through the toes to lift the hips up and back, drawing the heels down towards the floor, downward facing dog. Shake the head yes here and no. And from here, gently start to walk the feet up towards the hands. So the knees can be bent as much as you need, stretching through the hamstrings here. And when you get to your hands, bend the knees, let the head go, let the arms be heavy, and gently start to roll up to standing. This will be how we transition for the few vinyasas that we will do. Getting a nice roll up through the spine, working out any kinks in the spine. From here, inhale, arms reach overhead. And then exhale, hands come through the heart center, bowing forward, diving down. Let the head go, and then inhale, halfway lift, hands come up the shins, gaze is down. Exhale, bend the knees to plant the hands, step the feet back into plank, and shift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg high, and from here, start to bend the knee, rolling the hip open, rolling through the ankle, getting out any little pops in your ankle you might notice. And if you have space and you want to, you can flip this on over into wild thing. Keeping the left leg extended straight, planting the right foot, lifting up through the hips and opening up through the chest as you reach the arm overhead. Release, flipping back over, coming back into downward facing dog. We're going to level out the hips, reach both feet down, and switch sides. Inhale, left leg high. Get a nice length through the leg first, then bend the knee, turn the knee out, stretching and opening up through the hip. Roll again through the left ankle. There they are. There's those pops. Keeping the shoulders even. And if you want to take it further, starting to rotate, dropping the foot down to the ground, keeping the right leg straight as you lift the chest and hips open. Wild thing. On your next exhale, flipping back over, coming back to downward facing dog. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, walk the feet up towards the hands, keeping the legs as straight as you can. And then when you get to the hands, bend the knees, let the upper body and arms be heavy as you roll one vertebrae on top of another as you come up to stand. Inhale, arms reach overhead. Nice stretch. Exhale, hands come through the heart, bowing forward. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen through the spine, gaze down. Exhale, plant the hands, step the feet back, coming into plank first. And exhale, finishing the breath in downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg high, stretch the left heel down towards the mat, and then bend through the right knee as you bring the foot forward in between the hands. Take a slight step forward with the left foot and angle the toes out as you drop the heel down. Begin to straighten through the right leg as you roll up to standing with the torso. From here, take the hands to the hips and gently guide them forward. So they won't don't force them forward, but use the feet to help guide the hips towards the front of the mat. Then begin to roll yourself down, bringing the hands towards the mat, or if they don't come all the way down, gently, not forcing, gently rest them on the shin. Take a breath here to halfway lift, lengthen through the spine, and exhale, fold in towards the right knee. While you're holding this stretch, gently pull the right hip back. So notice if it inches forward and gently guide it back.
Use your breath to explore length on the inhales, slightly lifting, and exhale, relaxing, deepening into the stretch. Forward folds like this are very helpful for turning on the parasympathetic nervous system response, that rest and recovery, where we start to slow everything down and get into less stressed state. Cools down the body and the mind. Begin to bend through the right leg and gently walk the left foot up to meet the right. Feet hips distance. Again, bend through the knees, let the torso be heavy, and roll one vertebrae after another up to standing. Chin is tucked until the end, roll the shoulders back, bring the chin level, and inhale, arms sweep up overhead, stretch, exhale, hands to the heart, bowing forward from the hips. Bring the hands down, fold in, inhale, halfway lift, glide the hands up, lengthen through the crown of the head, exhale, plant the hands, step back into plank, and lift up into down dog at the end of the exhale. Inhale, left leg high, get a nice stretch through the right back of the leg, and then bring the knee up towards the chest, planting the foot between the hands. Gently step the right foot up, planting the heel, turning the toes out at a 45-degree angle, straighten through the left leg as you come up to standing. Use your hands on your hips to gently guide the hips towards the front of the mat. Lift up through the spine, find length, and then dive forward. Glide the hands down towards the mat, or letting them rest where they land. They may be on the shin or the thigh. Take a moment here to lengthen. Find the breath. Halfway lift, then exhale. Draw that length over the left leg. Let the head come towards the left knee, closing the eyes if you're comfortable. And using your breath and your internal sensations to gently guide your left hip back, right hip forward. No forcing. Just explore what you can do to find that nice alignment and deepen the stretch through the back of the left leg. Take a nice deep breath here. Surrendering over your left leg. Explore what you can let go, where you can find some pleasure in this position, where you can enjoy the journey of stretching deeply into this hamstring. And release, bend through the left knee, walk the right foot up to meet the left, and bend through the knees, torso heavy as you roll up, like a rolling pins coming up the front of your body, gently lengthening and stretching out through the spine as you straighten up to standing. Roll the shoulders back. Inhale, hands to heart center. Take a moment with the eyes closed to check in with your body and your breath. Feel the thumb against the collarbone, the chest. Feel the heart beating underneath. Bring a slight smile to the lips. Come back to your intention. Come back to the mantra we set with enjoy the journey. Gently blink the eyes open. I'm going to turn to face you. We're going to keep the left foot planted, picking the right foot up, bending through the left knee, and crossing the right foot over the left. Inhale, arms come out to the side, and the right arm will sweep under the left elbow. From here, we're going to engage the elbows, draw them up and away from you. You maybe have the backs of the hands touching, or you can wrap the palms around to meet your choice. From here, we're going to begin to level the hips as we sit back. So not trying to be too wonky with the hips. Get them nice and even if you're able to, and elbows gently reach away and up to stretch the upper back. Squeeze the inner thighs towards each other for that balance and the stretch through the inner hips. And exhale.
release, shake it out. Coming to the other side, right foot planted, bend through the knees slightly, lifting the left foot up, crossing the thigh up as high as you can over the right. Arms out to the side. As you sit back, we're going to cross the left under the right. So just make sure you do the other side. Either the backs of the hands come together or the palms wrap around. Sit back as you try and even out the hips. If you lose your balance, you can always use these toes to steady you as a little kickstand. Draw the belly in as you squeeze the inner thighs towards each other for a nice stretch to the inner thighs. Inner hips. As you're stretching the upper back with the elbows reaching away. Eagle pose is such a nice one. Get the upper and lower body stretching, getting a balance all in one. Inhale, release and shake it out. Good. Coming on down to your mat, come into seating with your right leg extended. Left foot in towards the inseam of the thigh, and make sure you have any extra flesh pulled away. We're going to inhale, arms reach overhead, and then exhale, fold from the hips over the right leg, letting the hands come down to the shin, or maybe they grab the toes or the foot. From here, take a breath to inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold into the straight right leg, active foot to help activate through the back of the leg. Also should be feeling a nice stretch through the low back. Keeping the right leg active helps to stretch deep into the calf and the hamstring. Inhale, release, coming to a twist. So we're going to turn away from your right leg. Come to the left, right hand outside the left knee, left hand behind you for a bit of a lift, and gently twist away. Stretching through the back of the right shoulder, getting a twist through the organs. Keep that openness as you lift the arms up and start to rotate over to the right. Let the right hand come inside the foot as the left arm reaches up and over. I like to turn my palm towards the ceiling, draw the shoulder away from the ear, and deepen the stretch in the side waist. Inhale up, and start to bring the left foot open a bit, and we're going to take our right foot across and bring the foot on top of the left thigh and knee. Both feet are flexed. So this, if your knees are way up, this is not available to you, you can just sit cross-legged with the right foot in front, and we're going to fold forward to stretch the hips. So that's a more gentle hip opener. Also, you can lift the hips up with a smaller pillow. This is a bit high, but a little boost can help if you just lift the hips a bit. From here, once you get comfortable with a good stretch, you don't want to be just not feeling any stretch. You want to inhale, arms up, and exhale, start to walk the hands forward. So from here, for me, I'm not going too far forward because this is enough of a stretch. Keeping the foot flexed, I'm feeling it in the outside of the right hip. If you wanted to go deeper, you just gently walk the hands forward, keeping the space through the spine. You don't want to collapse in the vertebrae. Keep nice lift out of the low back, gazes down and in front of you. If you ever find that you're holding your breath, you can use that exhale with open mouth occasionally to really let go of any tension that you maybe have building up. And inhale, walk the hands back in. We'll switch to the other side. So left leg will extend for Janu Shirshasana A. Right foot comes into the inseam of the left leg. Pull out any extra flesh in your left buttocks. And inhale, arms reach overhead. Exhale, hinge from the hips. Keep a length through the spine as you reach the arms along over the leg. Activate the left foot. Pull the toes towards you. If you can reach the toes, it can help deepen into the calf stretch.
But if not, don't worry, just bring your hands to the shin. You can always use a strap or belt too, if that's something you have at home. And start to relax into the stretch, finding some enjoyment on this journey through the stretch. And inhale, walk the hands back up, come into our twist, turn away from the foot, left hand outside the right knee, right hand behind you for a little kickstand. Take an inhale to lengthen and exhale, deepen and twist. How can you soften here? Don't force the twist, have it come from the inside. Inhale up, arms reach, and exhale, pivot. Left hand comes inside the left leg or foot if you can reach it. I can't quite do it well. And I'm going to turn my right palm up towards the ceiling and bend over, getting a nice stretch to the side body. I always enjoy when I can to close my eyes in my yoga practice and bring a slight smile to the mouth and to the eyes. Really can help to soften into the postures and explore with your breath ways that you can enjoy. Soak it up. Okay, come into fire log. If it's comfortable to you, or if it's too tight, bring the left foot in front. So just make sure you switch sides for the hip stretch. Or lift up your hips if that's felt good, if you tried that. Okay, we're gonna flex your left foot and make sure you sit up nice and tall, and then exhale, start to hinge from the hips if you want to deepen, walking the hands forward in front of the shins. I invite you to maybe try closing the eyes if you feel safe, and gently bringing a smile to the inside of the mouth and to the eyes. Notice how that changes maybe your experience, the sensations, the story that you have about what's happening. Release. Walk the hands back in. This is where we're going to need the bolster and the cushions that I invited you to grab at the beginning. So you're going to come onto the knees, the bolster in front of you. You're going to have the feet together, knees about mat distance, and you can sit back for a second. Draw the bolster back so it's just in front of your knees, and then we're going to come into supported child's pose. So I encourage you to just hug lengthen the spine and hug the bolster, bringing the arms to relax on the sides, turning the head one way. We're going to switch halfway through. So just pick one side that you want to turn the head, gently let it relax, and gently start to let the hips settle towards the feet. Should feel good. Should feel just supported and able to rest here. And please switch the head, the rotation to the other side. Now for about 8 breaths here. bolster to one side and flipping over. Actually, we're gonna keep it there. Excuse me. So keep the bolster there, and we're gonna flip on over. We're gonna come and set up for our Shavasana here. So you're gonna scoot your low back to the base of your pillows or your bolster, and you're gonna gently lower yourself back. So you're gonna be nice and supported here. From here, so your head should be on the pillow. If not, if your head's not supported it's not long enough, go grab another pillow. You don't want to have your head just hanging off. You want to have it supported too. You want it to be comfortable. Draw your left knee in towards the chest. And gently draw it across the body over to the right. Keeping the left shoulder on the mat or the bolster, stretching through the outside of the left hip, through the torso, getting a nice twist. And come back to center, give the left knee one more hug. And then send it long. Reach the right knee in towards the chest. Give it a hug and then gently guide it across the body over to the left. Extend the right arm out. Keeping the shoulder on the mat or the bolster. Bringing that smile back to the inside of the mouth and the eyes. And gently guide that knee back in towards the chest, hugging it in. And then extending it long. Gently tucking the shoulder blades underneath as the hands flip up, palms facing up and away from the body slightly. Let the feet fall open, setting up for Shavasana, final resting pose. Begin to let go of any control of the breathing. Letting the body breathe on its own during this rest. Keeping the eyes closed, the attention focus very soft but awake. Allowing your body to gently absorb all the benefits of the practice you just did. Truly letting it rest and be nurtured with the breath. Taking this time for yourself to really rest well. to deepen the breath, bringing your awareness back to your breath and circling out the ankles and wrists. Reaching the arms along overhead, stretching through the fingers all the way down to the toes, and then gently, carefully with the bolster, rolling off to one side, moving it to the side if you need to. Coming into child or fetal position. Take a breath or two here. When you're ready, gently press through the hands, coming up into a comfortable seat, closing the eyes if they happen to open. And inhale, arms are reach overhead. Exhale, hands back down. Again, inhale, arms reach. And exhale, hands come together, bringing them down through the center of the body, prayer position, stopping at your heart. Taking a moment to bow and express gratitude to yourself for taking time out of your busy day to truly rest well, to give your body this time to de-stress, slow down, and connect to what you enjoy through this process, through this journey. Thank you so much for joining me today on the mat, and I will see you tomorrow, either for a workout or some more active rest. Bye.